Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? So one of the picks the Saints made in the draft that I loved, we talked about this a bunch. On day 3, the Saints traded up for 3 of their picks. 3 of the 4 picks they made on day 3 of the draft, they traded up. And look, the Saints were in some respects trend setters in this draft. When they moved up to take Nick Saldiveri, the run came on interior offensive linemen. We talked about that. 6 of the next 19 picks were interior linemen. When the Saints took Jake Haener, the run came on quarterbacks in the mid-rounds. The very next pick was Stetson Bennett. So when the Saints traded Adam Trautman to get the asset to go into the 6th round from Denver, Trautman and a 7 for Denver, 6 to go take A.T. Perry, I was pumped for a lot of reasons we've talked about. 6'4", 200 pounds, back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons in an offense that was wide open. He was Sam Hartman's favorite target there at Wake Forest. I loved A.T. Perry. 4'4", 40 guy, 4'4", 40 guy. Just productive. The knock is drops, but you can work on that. I loved the pick in round 7. And the thing we got to talk about was how in the world was A.T. Perry on the board in round 6? Well, similar to Kayshawn, when you have a guy that's that talented, that accomplished, you go, well, something isn't right. Here we talk a lot about what's gone on with Kayshawn in the last 18 months, but we're not in Baton Rouge talking about the Wake Forest wide receiver and what had happened there. Well, after the draft, A.T. Perry kind of talked about it.
I mean, they said it was some character stuff, which kind of confused me. But there's nothing that I could do about that. I was just saying the past is the past. Let's get this going.
So, character stuff. He and A.T. Perry even acknowledged on the call with the media that he didn't expect to wait that long.
I was expecting to go higher, but there was some minor stuff that got in the way of that. So, but hey, I'm here now. I'm happy that you guys took me, and I hope it make a big impact on the field.
So part of that character stuff does sound off some alarms, and it explains why he was on the board in round 6. Right? When you check every box, size, production in college, all that stuff is there. Health, medical, all just check. And this dude's on the board in round 6. You're like, well, something ain't right. So character stuff, whatever that is. If there's something that I'd look at and go, okay, well, that's why that I'd be okay with it. It's that the Saints as an organization, for as literally from the time Sean Payton were hired, they have valued culture. Back when Sean Payton was hired after the 2005 season, he came in and blew out some veteran players that weren't bought in. Wayne Gandy was an offensive lineman that played collegiately at Auburn. There were all stories about how Gandy had a leather recliner in the locker room and didn't want to do what the coaches told him. Blew him out. Dante Stallworth was a first-round pick, a receiver out of Tennessee. Was the Saints' game-breaking wide receiver. They invested a first-round pick in. Sean Payton came in and said, get out. Dudes that weren't bought in, he ran them out. Different era, I get it. Post-Katrina, all that stuff. The organization was obviously in a dramatically different place. Well, the Saints went through this great era of winning, and then they had the back-to-back-to-back losing seasons. And you could tell after which they had a similar purge. They traded Jimmy Graham. Graham had the contract dispute over being tagged as a receiver, a tight end, wanted more money, right? I mean, it was just, they were like, dude, you're disposable. Now, they haven't found a receiving tight end as such since, but they blew him out. Kenny Stills. Remember Kenny Stills? Kenny Stills was a 5th-round pick. He was a steal out of Oklahoma in round 5. Was a productive player. But similarly, they were like, not worth the headache. Gone. Brandon Cooks, traded. Remember Brandon Cooks' whole thing about, like, got to eat, whatever, quiet mouths don't get fed or whatever, popping off about not getting more targets? Traded him. They turned that pick into Ryan Ramczyk. That's worked out. And you've seen Brandon Cooks traded, what, 6 times, four or 5 times in his career since? Point is, the Saints have always valued culture in their locker room. Always. Since the start of the Peyton era, right? Go back almost 20 years. The Saints value culture. It's something that they put a premium on. It's why when you look at the guys they drafted, you see dudes that were team captains, 4-year guys, seniors, came back and took advantage of the COVID year, wanted to win, team-oriented, all that stuff. They took team guys. So I can look at a nearly 2-decade sample of how the Saints handle character issues and say, if they were okay taking this guy in round 6, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Because if there were really an issue, they'd have taken him off their board. And the fact that they took him speaks volumes. So I'm excited about it, man. Still got a long way to go to make the team as a 6th-round draft pick, but I would not be surprised at all if A.T. Perry not only makes the team, but makes a big impact as a rookie. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.